Hello and welcome to Solution Code. In this video, we will move ahead with this mini project. In the last video, we have successfully developed two pages. Like one was the login screen, which is in front of us, and the second one is the dashboard. So in this video, we will do the login management system. We will be working with the sessions and we will set the session after login. If the login credentials are successful, we will match that credentials with our database credentials we have made in the backend users. So here we have the valid users in like credentials. So admin and the password is 123. If the user is valid, then we will set the session and we will redirect the user to dashboard. Otherwise, we will show some error. Okay, so let's start with this video and let's see. First of all, this is the login screen. Let me open the code of login screen. It is inside this view, admin panel and login view. Okay, I'll just change the title to login. Okay, now here we have the form. Okay, so here the form, we will in this form we will set action and the method is going to be the post method, and for the action we will do base URL. We will check the controller. Inside the admin we have the login controller, so here we will write admin/login, and here we will define a function login post, and for the time being what I will do is I'll just print the posted values in order to check whether it is functioning properly or not. Okay, now let's so it is saying that the base URL is not defined. So in order to remove this error, so this is required here because the view is loaded on this page. So now that error is gone. But instead of loading helpers everywhere wherever we require, instead of doing, we can do is we can open the auto load file, and here we can search for helper files, and here we can just load the URL helper. So there is no need to load the helper again and again. Now we can see that the form is implemented. Let's inspect element and check whether the changes have been reflected to this form or not. So we have just changed this thing, so the action is correct and the method is correct. So if I'm going to write anything, so this is going to take us to the URL post. Okay, now you will notice that the array is empty here. The post array is empty. The reason for this is we have not given the name attribute to the fields. So let's go there. In the email ID, let's give the name attribute to email, and for the password, let's give the name attribute to password. Okay, apart from that, everything is okay. We'll change the year to this. Let's reload the page again. Okay, so you can notice that the email and password is now successfully passed to the post files. Now in the post file we are getting the email and the password. So let me store it Okay, and here we will check if set $_post, that means the array is not empty. At that moment we will execute our code, otherwise we will just die the system saying that the invalid inputs. Now here we have two fields, password and the email. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to validate whether these credentials are valid or not. So in order to check, we already have made a table called backend users. So here we have the username and password. So we just need to perform the matching operation in order to check whether the username is admin and password is 123 or not. If not, then we will show the user some error, and accordingly we will if the credentials are correct, we will move the user to the dashboard. So in order to check the database, either we can write the database code inside the controller itself, or we can make the model. So currently I'm just showing you both the ways. $this db query. If I want to execute a query, I will just write the query here, or I can use the query builder. So currently I will just use this so that it is easy. Select star from this where username is equal to this and password is equal to whatever the user has passed. So here I will just specify the query, right? And instead of username I will just pass the email, and instead of password I will pass the password. Would store this result in a query variable, and I will check if $query num_rows, that means if there are rows returning to this match, that means the credentials are valid. Credentials are valid, else it is invalid credentials. Invalid credentials. So if the credentials are valid, what things we have to do is, first of all we will set a session. So in order to set a session, let's go and open this Codeigniter online documentation in order to check how to set the session. So here is the session. So let's open session library, and here they have shown how to initialize a session or load a session. So in order to check whether here in the libraries we can load the session, so we don't have to load the session again and again. So initial parameter has been already been set. The second is, you can just copy this or else wait. This is the way we defined a session. So here let's copy this. We will set a session name as user ID, and we will pass what we will do is we will just store the result here, $query result underscore array. Okay, and what I will do is I will just print and check if I'm getting the result or not. Okay, I'm just tying this operation right here. So if I do this, it will not do anything. Okay, it is showing that the DB is undefined. That means we haven't set the database also. Let me check if the database is set or not. No, the database is not set. So the host name is localhost, username is root, and the password is blank, and the database name is mini blog. Okay, but in my case I have a password 123456. In your case, if you haven't changed any password, so this is going to be blank. So the database is set, just we need to auto load here the database files. So here after session, what I can do is I can specify that the database is required. That's it. And you can notice that nothing has happened because it is going to match this email ID and password is this. So there is no certain match here. So that's why what I will do is I will pass a valid username and password now, and I will try to check. So the admin 123. So here admin 123. Okay, so currently this is asking us for the email ID. So either I can change it the type to text here, and I can just specify it as the username. Okay, so here I can specify admin 123 times 1. Let me sign in. So here admin, and this is printed. Okay, the password is 123. I'm so sorry. Let me go back again, and I will just specify the password as 123, and you will notice that the record has been successfully fetched for the particular user. So here let me format the data and check. So here you notice that the data has been fetched properly. So here I would set a session, and the session is going to be the result of 0 of user ID, the UID. UID I will keep in the session, and I will redirect the user to dashboard. So what is the dashboard? Is nothing but the admin / dashboard. Right, so let's check the code if it is working or not. I will just reload it again, and I will check. This should redirect the user to dashboard. Yes, so we have been redirected to the dashboard page. Here what I would do is I would check the session. So if is set $_session, whatever name we have given to the session, let's check. The name of the session is user_ID. So what I will do is I will just first of all check session set. You can see that the session is set. Let me print the value of the session. You can notice that the one which is the user ID is set. That means the session is set. So what I will do is I will make another check. If the session is set, then only I need to show the dashboard to the user. Otherwise I will not show the dashboard to the user. Instead I would set a flash session and I will redirect the user to the login. So first of all, let me write the redirect code to the login. Admin/login. Okay. First of all, let's check, and also we will require a logout function in order to clear the session. So this is the login function. Let us write the logout function in order to clear the session. So here you can find the logout. Session underscore destroy will destroy the session, or simply you can just unset function to unset it. That's it. So if I reload the page again, you will see that the dashboard is visible. Now if I do login/logout, it will destroy the session, and if I go to dashboard again, so this is redirecting me to the login screen. That means the session has been destroyed. Okay, so it is as simple as in Codeigniter. Now if the session is set, okay, so we have set the session and redirect the user to this login page. That is okay. If the credentials are invalid, then we can show some error might be. So for that, basically okay, let's first complete with the dashboard code. If the user is trying to access the dashboard, but the user has not logged in or the session is not set, so we have redirected the user to login screen. That is okay. So this code is finished. So we will come back to the login screen, and if the credentials are invalid for the user, so here we can either set the session flash data here. So what is flash data? Flash data is only available for the next request. That means when the page is reloaded, it will just come once when the page is reloaded. So we will use this flash data and we will just say error, and the error will be invalid credential. And what we will do is we will redirect the user again to the same page. Now let's see if I'm just typing anything random, it's taking me to the login, the home screen. Let me go back again, I'll reload it, anything random, so it is coming back here. But if you'll notice, if I just write, so this is the code for index. So here if I do admin 123, so this is showing me the invalid credential. That means the session is set, and if I reload it again, the session has been destroyed. So this is the flash data. Okay, and if the session is set and the value is error, so what I can do is $data error. $data is a array, right? And what we can do is we can just pass the $data here, and if the session is set, so $data error equals to $_session of error. So either we can do it like that, we can pass the error to the view, and in the view we can directly write anywhere we want to. Here we can just print the error if is set or if $error. Simple as that. And here we have setting. So here either we can do one thing, that we will set a string no error, and we will match it here. If error equals to no error, that means there is no error, right? Otherwise, if it is not equal to this, that means there is some error. So here for displaying error we can use like this. The code we can use is like this. We can either give it as a dangerous sign, this one, so here we can just print whatever it is. If I reload the page is set. Now I'm just typing in any random username and password, so it is showing me the invalid credentials. If I reload the page again, that is gone. So this is the way we have to check the errors. Okay, so in order to display the errors, we can make use of flash session data and so on. So this is the way we have set the session. And also one more thing we can do is, on top of everything, we will do one thing. We will check if the session is set, the main session, user_id. If this session is already set, then there is no need to show the login screen. So we will redirect the user directly to the dashboard. admin/dashboard. Now what I will do is I will log in using the valid credentials, so it is showing me to the dashboard. If I try to again go to the login screen, the session is already set, so it is redirecting me to the dashboard. And if I log out from the system, so it has been logged out. After logging in out, what I can do is I can again redirect the user to the login screen, because that blank screen doesn't appear to be nice. Okay, and if I try to access the dashboard directly, it is taking me to the login screen as the session is not set. So this is the way we have to handle the session properly. So in case you have any sort of doubt, you can post in the comment section and I will try to answer everyone's query. Thank you for watching, guys. In next video we will do changes in the dashboard. We will separate the header and footer part, and we will start with the forms and everything in the dashboard. I hope you have understand how the sessions work in Codeigniter. If you have any doubts, leave us in the comment section. I will try to answer all of your comments. Thank you for watching. Hope you like, subscribe, and comment below if you have any doubts. Thank you.